Well, good evening and welcome to Gamehater. I'm Steve from Gamehiker. Gamehater is going to be a series wherein I review games as I play them. I think in the future I'll do this as I play them for the first time, but today, just as a proof of concept, I'm going to start with the game I have played before and actually have something to say about. I think it'll be more fun to do it live in the future. So I'll do that. So the first one I'm bringing up is DubWars. Stand by while I confirm that I'm really streaming. Okay, good. Sorry for the delay. Just want to confirm that I have a live connection. All right, so I'm doing two games tonight. The first is called DubWars. It's a music-themed shooter. The other will be Beat Hazard, which is a much older music-themed shooter. I'm going to do a quick comparison of the two. Tell you which one I hate less. So a friend mentioned this one to me a ways back, and it does some interesting things with integration of music and sound. Now, we're having audio issues. Thank you, Aaron. Is this any better? I just notched the music down a little bit. Okay, good. So let's start over with DubWars. So DubWars is a music-themed space shooter, and it does some interesting things with integration of music and gameplay. It also is kind of difficult to figure out how to get into the game. I think it's going now. Credit for the composer responsible for the backing beat. So what you'll see is each weapon system on my ship is tied to a instrument in the song. So I have zero control over anything except where I am and where my ship is pointing. So right now it seems the snare is my lateral short-range shots. I've got some missiles with a higher pitched noise. And, flying around. So the first thing I noticed about this game is the background I find to be really distracting. You've got these little cars and streams of light going from left to right. It's maybe a minor thing to some people, but it really bothers me. And you see the beat dropped, accompanied by a giant laser. So that's kind of cool, and that's kind of the reason I think a game like this is actually perfectly suited for dubstep, because a lot of it is all about building up and releasing tension, much like the music itself. Everyone's really satisfied by the whole bass drop idea. And the music tries to build up tension, and then the bass drops and everyone's all excited. So it's certainly a fitting genre of music for this style of game, but one thing I could just never get over is how little control I have over the weapons, and especially now, this is normal gameplay, but the fact that I'm talking over it really exacerbates the issue, because I'm not focused on the music as much as maybe I would be. And then you got these sections, and this is what really brings the game down for me. The fact that since I don't have any control over my weapon system, when the song quiets down a little bit, all I can do is uselessly float around trying not to get hit by things. But then you see the music picks up when I start getting my weapons back. It gets a little more fun to play. And maybe I should just shut up and let you really hear and see what's going on. And we're back to helplessly drifting. And we got the bass drop, super laser, everything's great again. So I feel like with a game like this, if you played it long enough, you learn the songs, you learn to predict when certain weapons were going to go off, it could be pretty satisfying to play, but as I've said before, I just cannot get over how little control I have over what's going on right now. Like, why don't I get to shoot the little laser whenever, the big giant spinning red laser when I want to? Why can't I just be shooting these orange things all the time? Why do I have to let the song dictate everything like this? And on top of that, I gotta say I don't particularly care for dubstep. In the game also, you'll notice I'm getting hit a lot. You know, in a typical space shooter, you don't get hit this much. You have 1 or 2 health bars, maybe you have a shield. And I think that could be to compensate for how little control you have. You'd normally be constantly firing your weapons. You'd be a lot safer all the time. And I'm not doing well, partially because I'm not really focusing on the game, and partially I'm just not playing well. But this does seem to be the outro to the song. Maybe I'll make it. I've only got, well, 1 more hit and I'm down. But I think I saw the portal just open. So that's one level of DubWars. And since this is the demo version, that's the only version there is. Oh, looks like someone's in the chat. So it sounds like we still have some audio balancing issues that I didn't catch a while back. So I'll play a brief segment of that level again, and I'll just not say anything and focus on the music and gameplay. Okay, I'm being told the sound's in a little better spot now. So that's good. That'll be especially helpful for the next game. And that time I actually did hear the bass drop coming, so I was able to plan and aim a little better. Alright, so I won't go through the whole thing again. So with this game, I guess my main analysis is just, it's an interesting concept, but it's not really that fun of a game in my opinion. I appreciate what they're doing, I'm impressed by it, but when it comes down to just raw, am I shooting stuff and am I having a good time, not very impressive. So we'll compare it to Beat Hazard, which is an older game. I think 2011 maybe. But it does something very similar in terms of having a goal of integrating music with gameplay. And stand by while I confirm that I have a game on my stream right now. 2009 for Beat Hazard. Thank you, Aaron. Do you see the game on the screen? I'm having trouble getting Twitch to run on my secondary monitor. My video card must not be happy. No, I can't think of any other time I've played a game while streaming and had a problem, but... Okay, Beat Hazard is still not up. Yeah, OSB is... I have it set to capture a generic game, but I can do something better than that. And we'll put that on top. Yeah, maybe I didn't have Beat Hazard in full screen. Okay, how about now? Is it showing up yet? I think I see it on OSB. Okay, good. Yeah. Sorry about that. Growing pains, I guess. Trying to do 2 games in one stream may not have been the best plan. It looks like, oh no. Audio feedback, sorry. I guess my Chrome wasn't getting along with Twitch, but Explorer was. Go figure. Okay, Beat Hazard. This is the demo version. Now, right off the bat, the soundtrack, if I ever get up there, is way better. Because it's my music, and my music is not dubstep. We got our Beck, we got Blind Guardian, video game soundtracks, Iron Maiden. And I was thinking about this earlier today, what song would really show off what this game does the best, and normally being more of a heavy metal guy, I immediately thought Iron Maiden, but I want to see what happens with progressive rock, because this is a game that changes how it plays based on the intensity of the music. So the intensity of the game is tied to the intensity of the music. I'll show you what that looks like. So this is The Wind Blew Them All Away from Transatlantic. So with this game, you can see I'm controlling the weapons, which makes me much happier right off the bat. And as the music gets stronger, you get more enemies on the screen, your weapons get bigger, the backgrounds get flashier. You can see I'm dropping power-ups, which is a staple of the genre. DubWars, I've already died once, so I one HP in keeping with standards of the genre. There's an upgrade system. DubWars also had an upgrade system, by the way. I think my HP was a little bigger than default. So I picked I've got bombs. I can deploy my bombs if I press the right button. So the reason I picked this song is classic rock, or progressive rock, is a very dynamic style of music. You take something like power metal or pop or something, they're always very even. They might have one quiet spot here and there, but they're mostly saturated sound and constant drum beat, things like that. Not playing well, we're talking too much. But with progressive rock, the music's all over the place, all the time. You can see the backgrounds blinking, flashing along with the music. Enemy spawn rates are getting more intense. Here we get to an instrumental section. The guitar does its thing, my guns get bigger. Now, what do I not like about this game? The background is very irritating to look at. It's hard to really parse what's going on the screen a lot of the time. Right now we have a boss fight, that's something else I didn't see in the DubWars demo. You can see right now I have no idea what's going on. I'm just hoping I'm not hitting enemy weapons right now. And another issue I have with this game is there's a volume mechanic where one of the pickups you play is volume, and that's actually the music volume, and presumably it affects gameplay too. I haven't quite seen how. The issue with that is if you're playing on speakers, you're trying not to bother anyone else in the house. Having the game control the volume of your music kind of undercuts the whole thing, because you won't hear the song until your volume bar is halfway up. So I'm being a lot less sloppy than I was early on. So there you just saw a section that really highlights what Beat Hazard does, where the song kind of chilled out for a while, and now it's picked back up, and things are awesome again. And I really like that. The intensity of the game matches the intensity of the music. If you get a wailing guitar solo, you get awesome gameplay. If you have a dude holding out a high note for 30 seconds, as metal singers are wont to do, you get awesome gameplay. I can't believe I survived that. And since this is a fairly long song, we have a second boss. Oh, by the way, epilepsy warning. If anyone's epileptic, turn the screen off now. You should not be here. This game is not for you. I think there's a warning on the title as well. So comparing this to DubWars, I think the gameplay is a lot more fun. It plays how you expect a space shooter to play. You're really playing the game. It doesn't have those issues of surrendering control of everything to the whims of the song they picked. But at the same time, the integration of music with gameplay is a lot weaker. You know, there's I think this is the third time I've said it, the intensity of the game is tuned with the intensity of the music, but, you know, that's not nearly so impressive as having everything you do be controlled by the music itself. It is just a matter of, do you want to be impressed by a pretty, honestly, very impressive technical design, or do you want to fly around and blow stuff up without too much nonsense? And here we have the grand finale, which is not treating me too well. So I think it's pretty clear. In my opinion, this is the better game. It's I died in the outro of the song. So like I said, I think it's a much more satisfying game. So I think I've got one song left in the demo. I may as well do another. And let's stick with the progressive trend. I'm thinking Trans-Siberian Orchestra. But which one? I can't do a Christmas album, because that's clearly not the right time for that. You know, take that back. I will do, yeah, one of these ones. Get some classical crossover. And see, I'm playing a second song mostly for the fun of it, because you know, when you're playing this game, you want to hear what different songs in your library will do. That's a lot of the replay value. You think, oh, you know, maybe this Iron Maiden song would be awesome in this game, or I want to see what Pink Floyd does. Or maybe you like dubstep and you want to see what happens when the bass drops. Now, context for this song, since we're in the quiet portion, very quiet portion. This is the album Beethoven's Last Night, where Beethoven is dying on the eve of completing his final symphony, and the devil is trying to convince him to sell his soul. Yeah, so I mean, this is exactly what I wanted to see, is, you know, the game and the music picking up at the same time. But this one also does get pretty repetitive. It's always going to be a bunch of ships flying at you, the occasional boss fight to mix it up. There are, I guess, expansions to the game, or DLC, I'm not sure what they were called in 2009. Which add more bosses and more unlocks. I'm sure the demo version is much more limited than the full game, anyhow. That was unclear. I may not finish this song. Yeah, in a previous playthrough I was playing a Man-O-War song, and it's just very, very steady drum beats, very even level of intensity, you know. But and often I find that songs that are more dynamic are actually a lot harder to get through, because you like what just happened to me there is I had trouble recalibrating every few seconds. So that's as far as I can go, because I only have the demo version. But that's the comparison between the two. You know, like, I'm just repeating myself at this point. I think Beat Hazard's a better game. DubWars is a more interesting concept. I hate everything, and I'm going to bed. Good night.